I found this monster from ancient Greece in my fish tank. Let's find out what it is on Taxonomy Tuesday. So let's talk about Cnidaria. Their distinguishing features are an uncentralized nervous system, with the nerves distributed through their gelatinous body in a net formation, and the presence of cnidocytes or cnidoblasts, which are specialized cells with ejectable organelles used mainly for injecting venom and capturing prey. Their bodies consist of mesoglea, a non-living jelly-like substance sandwiched between two layers of epithelium that are mostly one cell thick. Many Cnidarian species can reproduce both sexually and asexually. And as you probably know from the first Taxonomy Tuesday, which you can find up here, they are radially symmetric. But our little pest is obviously not the same as this guy, right? That's right, let's find out how to group them. Let's start with anthozoans, the corals and sea anemones. Anthozoa is one of the three subphyla of Cnidaria, but unlike other members of the phylum Cnidaria, anthozoans do not have a medusa stage in their development. Instead, they release sperm and egg cells into the water. After fertilization, the planula larvae, which is their babies, form part of the plankton. When fully developed, the larvae settle on the seabed and attach to the substrate, undergoing metamorphosis into polyps. Some anthozoans can also reproduce asexually through budding or breaking in pieces. But before we continue with their taxonomy, I do need to talk a second about coral bleaching. It's a terrible thing where corals expel the colorful algae living in their tissue due to stress, causing them to turn white. This stress is most commonly caused by rising ocean temperatures, but can also be triggered by changes in salinity, pollution, or excessive sunlight. While bleached corals are not dead, they are weakened, more vulnerable to disease, and can die if the stressful conditions persist, which we have to prevent because coral reefs are one of the most productive ecosystems on our planet. Now let's go back to their main taxa, which is their taxonomical groups. Octocoralia are marine and brackish animals consisting of colonial polyps with eightfold symmetry. Commonly referred to informally as soft corals, they are not our species. That's not what we're looking for because they're not, the guy that we have is not eightfold symmetric. And I didn't find it in a marine or brackish environment. I found it in my freshwater tank. But besides that, in the anthozoans we also have hexacorelia. Hexacorals are aquatic organisms formed of polyps, generally with a sixfold symmetry. Their taxa contains everything from anemones to stony corals. I won't go too deep because we still have to figure out what the creature in the intro is, and the anthozoa can be their entire own video. So obviously our green friend looks a lot like an anemone, but I think we can do better because there are no freshwater anthozoans. For this we can look a bit further away. Here we can find endocnidozoa, but they are only a couple cells big and parasitic, not really what we're looking for either. So that just leaves Medusozoa. Medusozoa contains 4 taxa. Medusozoans are distinguished by having a medusa stage in their often complex life cycle, with some exceptions. Medusa typically have an umbrella-shaped body with stinging tentacles around the edge. That's what people often call a jellyfish. I found the polyp stage, so let's go down the list. To Staurozoa. Staurozoa is a small group commonly known as stalked jellyfish. The animal remains attached to the substrate by a stalk at the opposite end of the mouth. Staurozoans can be regarded as a large polyp that has partially differentiated into sexually mature medusa. These spawn gametes, which develop into non-swimming planulae, like the little babies, like as before. But these ones are not in the water column, so they're not plankton, that crawl away to new locations. This could be it, but I think we can find a better fit. Maybe it's the polyp stage of one of the medusa dominant groups. Let's get into that. One of the first contenders for this is the Cubozoa or the box jellyfish, named this way because of their box shape. From each of the 4 lower corners of this box hangs a short pedalium or stalk, which bears one or more slender hollow tentacles. The rim of the bell is folded inwards to form a shelf, known as the velarium, which restricts the bell's aperture and creates a powerful jet when the bell pulsates. So as a result, box jellyfish can move more rapidly than other jellyfish. Speeds of up to 1.5 meters per second have been recorded. Their polyp stage could be our guy, but they only live in marine environments again, and sadly I don't have the finances for a saltwater tank. So could it be a freshwater true jellyfish? Let's dig in. The Scyphozoa, our next contender. Most species of Scyphozoa have two life history phases, including the planktonic medusa or polyp form, which is most evident in the warm summer months, and an inconspicuous but longer-lived bottom-dwelling polyp, which seasonally gives rise to new medusae. They exhibit strobilation, which is how new medusae are born, and we don't see that in our specimen. I actually posed the wrong question in the beginning, because again, they only live in saltwater. A lot of that going around, huh? This is causing a serious problem for our determination. Anyway, there is one left. Let's dive into the hydrozoa. Most hydrozoa species include both a polypoid and a medusoid stage, so polyp and a medusa stage, in their life cycles, although a number of them have only one or the other. For example, Hydra has no medusal stage, while Leiope lacks the polypoid stage. Hydra is a genus of smaller freshwater hydrozoans of the phylum Cnidaria. They are solitary, carnivorous jellyfish-like animals, native to the temperate and tropical regions. This really sounds like a good contender. Let's compare some pictures. So as you can see, Hydra has a tubular radially symmetric body up to 10 millimeters long when extended, secured by a simple adhesive foot known as the basal disc. Gland cells in the basal disc secrete a sticky fluid that accounts for its adhesive properties. And best of all, we can find some species here that look so similar that I'm sure this is it. This is where we find polyps that have a similar mutualistic relationship with algae and have the same look to them. So now that we found our Hydra, named like this after the Hydra from Greek mythology, known for its regenerative ability, just like our Hydra here. Is there another phylum you want me to explore? I've been your host, Belgian Bugs. Put in the comments what you want me to describe next. Subscribe if you want to see more and take a look at my other videos.